this customer loyalty myth in e-commerce space, should you even strive for that?
Yeah.
Because companies and VCs have been talking about customer acquisition costs, but is it really customer acquisition?
Yeah, so I think the answer is different for different companies. You can't look at loyalty in digital commerce businesses in isolation of buyer loyalty. You have to look at both seller and buyer loyalty altogether. So our view has been on the seller side, we have to build life-changing experiences for them. As a platform, you need to have, as a company, you need to have a philosophy, right? Our philosophy is, of course, providing certainty of availability of products at best prices to consumers. But for sellers, we want to create life-changing experiences. The simple rule of thumb most of our sellers have today is if you have great ratings on Snapdeal, you get rich, right? It's really as simple as that. I always feel that successful people don't need help. It's the people who want to be successful who need help.
Yeah.
Right? And our platform is of a size and scale now where we can do that for these small businesses and retailers. And because we've created this opportunity for them to supply locally but sell nationally, we've seen tremendous loyalty from them. Also because we are really the only pure marketplace in India where $500 million worth of value of transactions is happening across multiple sellers, where only 10 sellers on Snapdeal contribute to more than 1% of our sales. So there is a acute level of distribution. There's a very long and very fat tail where many sellers are making significant sums of money in terms of their sales. Now, when these same sellers go sell on another site for whom 90% of their business is inventory-led, there is an inherent conflict that exists between the inventory-led site and their stock and this seller selling on the same platform, where let's say a particular phone, a seller sells for 10,000 rupees and he starts moving product. Your inventory-led business will say, hey, let's price our product at 9,800 so that we can sell more. Then the seller stops selling, which is what we've seen. A lot of sellers who've tried listing on these hybrid models out there have actually detached very quickly because they see an inherent conflict of interest with that company's inventory-led model. So seller loyalty is a really big part of our business, and I think we've seen great traction there. I think on the buyer loyalty side, one of the reasons why we've grown so fast, where in terms of size, there are basically two companies in India which have significant size in e-commerce, but we've taken 1/3 the time, right, and 1/10 the capital. And the prime reason for that is we have high seller and buyer loyalty. So, and how do you measure that? Of course, you measure that in repeat rates, etc. But so right now, over 60% of our orders any given day are coming from repeating customers. Why would they come back if they didn't think we were delivering value? Over 80% of our transactions are organic, people coming directly to our site, which shows that there's a lot of recall. Over 80% of new customers are also coming organically through primarily word of mouth. And the reason this is happening is people know that when they come to Snapdeal, they search for something there's high likelihood of finding it because we have 4 million plus products, right? And we are adding a new product every 30 seconds on the site. And we have great prices for those products because we have multiple sellers who have healthy competition amongst them to offer the best price possible. So but it's something that we think about a lot, right? And I don't think a company ever solves the loyalty problem. It's something you keep investing behind and thinking through quite deeply.
So quick question, what's the number of transactions you're seeing on a daily basis and on a monthly basis?
So we've now crossed over 1 million transactions a month, right? So, and our sense is this quarter we should cross, easily about 6 million transactions for the quarter. And that will be up on a quarterly basis about 8 to 9 times since same quarter last year. So the velocity is of course increasing while maintaining a healthy share of transaction contribution from new customers as well as existing customers.
What has been the distribution of customers, the buyers across state? recently you guys announced that you're getting 30% traffic from transactions from mobile, right?
Yeah.
So, is there a mobile clarity, I mean strategy, which is very much defined,
Sure.
you know, versus how much of that has been the kind of happenstance versus a strategy?
Sure. So mobile is a very key component of our business, and it's been an interesting journey as we ramped up in that space. What we saw was, everyone knows that the amount of data consumed over mobile internet is far higher than over the PC internet now, right? And that trend that divergence will only happen more drastically over a period of time. But everyone knows that. The thing that we noticed a year ago, which got us to accelerate our efforts ahead of the market, was, so a lot of people ask me, Kunal, the whole market is at 10 to 12% of their transactions coming over mobile. Why are you guys north of 30% of your transactions coming over mobile? What's that you guys did which was so special?
Yeah.
It was really as simple as early preparation and focus. So a year ago, we started seeing that 60% of people who were transacting over the mobile on Snapdeal were people who had never transacted with Snapdeal before, which factually demonstrated to us that this massive wave is coming of new buyers who have never transacted online before. And we need to figure out something very quickly. Do we want to invest all our energy behind a platform which is driving 75% of transactions today? Or do we want to put a disproportionate amount of energy behind a platform that will be 75% of our transactions 3 years out on a much bigger pie?
Right.
So what I told our team was, you need to break our PC side. Because if we don't revolutionize our business, we will never be able to revolutionize the market. And 12 months ago, I used to say that in 18 months from then, a third of our orders will come from mobile.
Right.
We're already at 30%, so we're clearly going to cross that threshold. And right now, what I believe is in the next 18 to 24 months, over 50% of Snapdeal's orders will come over the mobile. And in the next 3 to 4 years, over 75% of our orders will come over mobile devices. So that trend is very, very powerful. Another reason, back to your loyalty point, we are seeing that the repeat rates and the loyalty levels of consumers who buy over the mobile from us are even higher than those over the PC.
Okay.
So, and I think that trend, so we see almost 20% of people who download our apps open our app at least once every day.
Amazon entered India, Flipkart launched marketplace. What's really happening? Has the pie grown, or is it the same pie and more people fighting for the same pie?
I think the pie is growing very, very fast. Most reports I look at peg e-commerce in India at 1.8 to 2 billion this year, going up to anywhere from 30 to 40 billion in the next 7 to 10 years. So the pie is definitely growing very fast. But the thing to think about is, just because the market's large doesn't mean that everyone in the market will be successful.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where execution and deep thinking around what's the right model to follow is going to be critical. Right? So of course, India is still continues to be dominated by inventory-led players, right? There are of course people making announcements about they've launched marketplace or they're launching marketplace, but even those who have launched marketplace, based on what I hear, 90% of the business is still inventory-led, right? And only 10% is really marketplace, part of which is regulatory optics that I think. I think the whole notion for e-commerce companies in India until now has been, let's raise a boatload of money, let's spend a boatload of money, and let's build scale, because with scale will come profitability. That is as wrong as it gets. If that were the case, last I checked, Amazon did 60 billion in GMV last year, and they're still not profitable. Profitability comes by solving a real problem, not by just having a lot of scale. Scale is important, but it's not the primary ingredient to get profitable. Our view is that there is how do you start perceiving competition in the market, right? We were in a slightly different business, and then we started building out our marketplace. I saw a lot of interviews and even anecdotally people would tell me behind closed doors, you guys, I don't know what you guys are doing, and people would tell me that people told them that Snapdeal is not going anywhere and all those things. And that to me, so in my mind there are 4 steps of losing a battle. First step is you don't acknowledge, you say I have no competition.
Yeah.
Right? The second step is you say, oh, they're really small and they don't really know what they're doing. The third step is, oh shit, they grew so fast.
Yeah.
And the fourth step is, let's try and catch up. So let's do what they are doing. I think some of the companies in India are between step 3 and step 4 right now, where they watched us grow really, really fast, really quickly, without raising an enormous amount of money. And now they are trying to do the same thing that we are doing. It may work, it may not work, right? Because I feel that an inventory business fundamentally slows down your company because it consumes a lot of cash without necessarily giving the right amount of ROI on each invested rupee. So the longer people want to stay in an inventory business and build this hybrid business, the happier I am. Because I feel that our rate of growth and hence our market share will grow much faster than anyone else in the market. So also, you know, people feel that you know, profitability is achieved by the service you offer. Right. That's not the case. Profitability is achieved by how efficient is the service that you offer.
Yeah.
And I think there is a subtle distinction that only a few companies understand. And those that understand prosper, and those that don't just spend more money than they should be.